Comey finally came out and directly refuted Trump's claim that Barack Obama had wiretapped Trump Tower. Now, if you remember, without providing any evidence, Trump went Twitter crazy after some half son of a bitch on Fox read something on the sewer known as Breitbart.com. And once it's on Breitbart, and once it gets to Fox, and once it goes to, who's the little gossip little shit that has that website, political gossip? No. Anyway, once it gets to those two or three places, as far as Trump is concerned, it's gospel. It's not fake news. Fake news is the New York Times, Washington Post, LA Times. That's all fake news. This son of a bitch is out of his mind. He really is. But anyway, Comey said, quote, with respect to the president's tweets about alleged wiretapping directed at him by the prior administration, we have no information that supports those tweets, and we have looked carefully with the inside the FBI. The Department of Justice has asked me to share with you that the answer is the same for the Department of Justice and all its components. The department has no information that supports those tweets. End quote. Now, for you and I to sit here and say, see, I told you, we might as well say, hey, water's wet. You know, this is such bullshit what this guy is doing. And then tonight, he's in Kentucky where he has the mob there just screaming and yelling and hollering about nonsensical shit that's just not happening. And I heard him say twice, people on our side, and he's not talking about the Republican Party. The Republicans are getting the shits of this guy too. When he says people on our side, he's talking about this country being split. There are the real people who love and worship and believe in Donald Trump, and then there are the sane people who realize this asshole is the biggest faker ever to sit in the Oval Office. So what Trump is doing, I think it's very clear. It's the same thing any fascist does when he's aware that there's a movement to get his ass out of office. He's whipping up his hardcore supporters to almost to the point of hysteria. And if it's still on, you ought to switch to cspan.org and take a look. It's pretty grim indeed. The House Intelligence Committee that conducted this hearing today, of course, the overarching issue is the Russian interference in the 2016 election. And Comey also confirmed today that the Bureau is conducting an investigation into Russian interference in that election and the ties between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, about Robert Perry's column and a couple of other leftist writers who, up until this bullshit started erupting, I figured could do no wrong. I came on this program and deconstructed that column by Perry because for the first time in my life, I decided that Perry was talking about something he had no goddamn idea of what the truth was. And his claims over and over and over again, I mean, he was just like Trump, Perry was, busting up on the intelligence agencies. And I've said a million times that busting up on some of the activities of the intelligence agencies is certainly fair. And over the course of the last 75 years, they've done some evil shit. But this particular case where everybody, I mean, 8, 9, 10, 12 people connected to Trump have been hand in glove with the Russians for the past 2 years, and then lying about it when they were questioned during their confirmation hearings by the U.S. Senate. If there's no fire, what the fuck is all the smoke? Why are these people, all of these Trump people, 4 of whom he had to fire, not because of their dealings with the Russians, but because their dealings with the Russians were made public? Now, if all of this shit is innocent, and Perry and who else? I think Hedges had a piece out too along the same lines. If all these people who work for Trump are just innocent as could possibly be, then what was the need for all the lies? I mean, they have mountains of evidence now, and we can say what we want about Comey. If you remember, Comey was the one who, when who was Bush's attorney general, the one that anointed himself? Yeah, remember when Ashcroft was in the hospital, and a couple of what's his name? Jesus, I can't think tonight, Kathy. My hand hurts too much. When a couple of Cheney operatives made a dash for the hospital because they knew that this guy was under the influence of some pretty heavy narcotics, painkillers. And they went out there to try to get him to sign off on a document that would have absolved the Bush administration from some shit, I don't know. And at the last minute, Comey, who was then I think it was in was he not in the Justice Department? He was some official, not a top-level official, but one of the officials in the Bush administration. He got there first, and he told Ashcroft, whatever you do, do not sign what they're going to offer you. And they came out and offered it to him, and he didn't sign it. So we can say what we want about Comey. Yeah, I thought it was shitty what he did where it concerned Hillary Clinton. Oh, well, the investigation is ongoing. And yet, when it comes to Trump, he can't confirm or deny an investigation until finally he did. Yes, the Trump administration is under investigation for its multiple ties to the Russians. Now, I'll tell you, over the course of my life, I've gotten sick of the Cold War attitude between the Russians and the Americans. I've gotten sick of the possibility of a nuclear exchange. I've had my belly full of listening to, these insane back and forths and arguments in the Security Council, in the General Assembly, Russian invasions here, American invasions there. It's driven me crazy. But I will tell you this, I would no more trust this goddamn Putin than I would have trusted Joseph Stalin. Putin is an evil son of a bitch. And his goal, right now he's working on, his people are working on shredding the confidence in the democratic system in 3 countries in Europe, Germany, France, and who's the other one, Kathy? The other one's going to have elections. There are 3 countries where the Russian operatives are already working. All the shit that was being tweeted out during the campaign, not from Trump, but it turns out there's a whole squad, I don't know how many, 100, 1,000 Russian trolls whose job it is under fictitious names to get on Twitter, to get on Facebook, put out the most negative points of view, arguments, lies, and deceptions they possibly can to destroy the confidence, what little we have left, in the American electoral system. So to the people who have said over and over again that why are we getting pissed off at the Russians? If you don't get it now, then you're never going to get it. I mean, I don't know what it would take. I really don't. Trump and his gang are involved with the Russians, the Russian oligarchs and Putin, because they are cut from exactly the same cloth. Putin and Trump are world-class gangsters. The people around Trump and the people around Putin are secondary gangsters. But the only reason any of them are in power is to steal as much as they can, to lie, to deceive their own people, Putin, his people, trump the people in the United States. If you can't put two and two together, then what the hell are you doing listening to this program? No shit. I mean it.